3:30 a.m. A Sabanilli. I think they call it a Zulu. It's from the Carmela line. Something like that. And I've got it loaded up with some Navy Flake. Apparently I've got a case of insomnia going on, which is not the first time. Why not smoke a pipe on the front porch? Because the freaking weather is awesome. It's nice, it's cool, it's a beautiful morning. I'm going to have to fight this, hang on. Still loving the Navy Flake. Haven't actually smoked any for a couple of weeks. I never tried a flake out of this pipe, so I just got curious about it. Smokes pretty well. Yeah, I'm sitting out here in a robe. But it's 3:30, who's going to see me? Anybody else get insomnia? I've had it pretty much all my life. Now, the nice thing about it being retired is that when I do get to sleep, I just sleep. I have many a day where my sleeping patterns are way out of sync with the rest of the world. And you know, I don't think I really care that much. This is what the world looks like at 3 a.m. We're having a thing called the harvest moon, which I think just means the moon is very illuminated in August. And the reason they call it a harvest moon is, from my understanding, is that it was so bright that it allowed the farmers to continue to harvest even after dark. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what I've heard. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll read, which is not an uncommon thing to do, and it usually will kind of put me out. Not tonight, but I'm reading kind of an interesting series. I've mentioned before that I like science fiction, and I seem to pick up a couple of sci-fi books whenever we go to New Mexico, and I usually complete one or two, or one and a half. I rarely get two done. But about this series, or the first two books of a series called the Lost Fleet series by a guy named Jack Campbell. Apparently that's a pseudonym, and he's a retired naval officer. But it's just about this fleet that is trying to get back to safety in on the Alliance side of the universe, I guess. And what's interesting is he writes the battles, these space battles, as if they're from a naval perspective, because he's a naval officer, retired. And it makes it real interesting and very believable. So I got online earlier, realizing that in the next couple hours I will be finishing this book and wanting to continue on in the series. So I got online and ordered the last 4 books of the series, and then the first book of the next series. So when I do go to New Mexico next time, which will be let's see, in 8 days, I'll have plenty of reading material. If you order stuff through Amazon, man, you get it quick. I'm always amazed. Either I always get it on the day they say, and sometimes a day earlier. I also subscribe to a pipe magazine. I cannot think of the name of it. But it took several weeks. I guess they put it out quarterly. Just came today. I'll have to show you what it is. Probably most of you know what it is. But it should make for interesting reading. At least I don't have to smoke alone now. My smoking buddy came out here with me. Stuart the cat. I'd show you Stuart, but it's pretty dark. This camera won't pick him up. Got on Craigslist tonight. I'm thinking about buying a motorcycle to keep in New Mexico. A few years ago, I had a Suzuki Intruder 1500. And I liked it a lot, and I should have kept it, but I wasn't riding it very much for a couple of seasons, and so I sold it. So I'm thinking about buying a used one. Probably one that's 10 years old or so. Just to keep up in Taos, to ride around the mountains. We'll see. I kind of bounce around with that idea. They're a great motorcycle. That Intruder was a great bike. They're shaft driven. And Suzuki makes a great engine. Well, they look good. They're kind of a Harley knockoff looking thing. But I really have a hard time thinking about paying what they want for a Harley. So, just too cheap. There's Stuart. Needed his back end scratched. So I came up for a visit. Guess that was all I needed. Yeah. I don't really have anything to say. So, hope everybody else is asleep. Yeah, well, I can sleep tomorrow. Good night, everybody.